And today's topic is learning game design. And as such, I could think of very few people who I would rather discuss this topic with than Professor Jared Bendis, Associate Professor for the Cleveland Institute of Arts and the head of game design.
That's Cleveland Institute of Arts.
Art. There's no S?
There's no S.
Why? Why can't there's just only one art?
With the Institute of Arts. I know when you say it, it sounds stupid, but now that you say it, like it's been a 140-year-old school.
Art.
But there you go.
Art.
With the CIA, art. With the original CIA.
CIA.
We actually had the Twitter account CIA at CIA. And we would get so much hate messages. Something international would happen.
Oh my gosh!
All come to us. So
and it's because you only allow one. You only allow one art to happen, Jared. Now I'm going to throw a curveball for you today. Since you started on the art, we started on.
I'm ready to defend myself.
Yes, you're ready to defend yourself. Now that AIs can make art that is beautiful, maybe not necessarily on set, but beautiful, like interesting to look at, all those kinds of things, right?
Old news.
Yeah, it's old news. When will AIs start writing games?
But don't AIs, see, you're talking about what level?
Right.
Everyone is talking about this weird thing. Like, so I posted my photo of Jared Bendis riding a dragon, and it scoured the internet, found these pictures, and made a picture of it. Was perfect.
It was you riding a dragon.
It was me riding a dragon. I was almost mad.
I thought it was going to come back with that picture of you from Burning Man.
There are no pictures of me at Burning Man. No, there's another thing. Seppy, we don't talk about our age on here too much.
Yes.
You shine with your silver much better than I do.
Yeah.
We are of the age where all photos of us in our youth were taken with purpose and are easily tracked. So like when I posted my teenage dirtbag video, people were like, "What the hell are those?" I'm like, "I know where all the skeletons are buried."
Oh, anyway, so many skeletons.
But going back to this AI thing, so what exactly are we praising at the moment? Are we praising that the search engine was able to parse my text into a composition, that it was able to morph something together, that it was able to somehow please me? Because none of those things are really what matters in terms of hitting a goal that we find inside of game design.
Yes, all right. I want to. So you like good discussions start with semantics, right? You define your terms and you build out. Bad discussions have general topics and you don't define the semantics, and then you boil back down frustratingly to semantics after you talked a while. Also, Rick and Jasper are here. Rick also has a career as an adult before the internet, and we'll talk about that later when Rick comes back on. But so on the topic today, which is learning game design, what is interesting for this topic is what did the machine learn? And how did the machine learn it? And what did the machine actually learn to do? Back to our semantical discussion.
And who owns it?
And telling it that it succeeded.
And who owns it? And so let's go back for a moment to the
chaos is a ladder.
The project that what was that?
Chaos is a ladder. Like Rick and Jasper are making comments, and
see, I should have joined your live because you can go side by side now. And
yeah, you can't see my stuff. You cannot see my stuff.
I don't know what they're saying.
I know, and now I'm making these weird hand gestures, but go on. You were saying.
I have to wait until you finally post the YouTube versions.
We are doing that next Tuesday. You're going to see your version with some of these comments.
And the previous ones?
We're going to probably try to sneak in one a week until we catch up. Maybe two a week.
Me too. Anyway, so let's go back to the assignment I give my students as a perfect example of what we can do with an AI in game design. So the assignment I give my introductory students, which is so earth-shatteringly difficult because I'm teaching them to learn to design games, is they're going to design a game of Goose. The game of Goose, for those of you who don't know, is the oldest commercial board game in history. I don't mean chess, checkers. I'm talking about a designed commercial board game where 500 years ago, the Medicis go, hey, we just got this new game. Somebody sold it to us. It's the game of Goose. And we have 500 years of it. No, seriously, there's a receipt for a game. And for 500 years, people played this game. And up until literally Milton Bradley changes the industry as we know it, all games are pretty much derivatives. Board games are derivatives of this big spiral thing. So let's talk about this for a moment, because people have done mathematical studies about if two people are playing, you could have algorithmically have it play and say 44% of the time it's a stalemate. All these types of weird things that happen.
Right. Chutes and ladders. You could do that too, as well. You hit a button and you know who wins.
Right, and it's actually an adult version of Chutes and Ladders, if you think about it, because it's the same sort of note strategy game, but it's got a lot more thrills to it. I used to do snakes. We do Snakes and Ladders, because Chutes and Ladders is a Milton Bradley trademark.
Right.
Anyway, I'm sorry, Hasbro, because they own everything. But anyway, so going back to this, I'm going back. So going back to this, ask yourself the question we talk about in our field play testing all the time.
Yes.
So how many of us sit here, design our board game? I'm going to go traditional board game for a moment. We're going to get rid of all your dexterity games, no human invention there. We're going to get rid of all the party games, no human there. We're going to get rid of all the trivia games, no human there. We're going to talk about just a really good Mondo will be proud, a really good mechanic, and then with the skin on it. And Mondo's Mr. Mechanic, whether he likes it or not, and I love him for it. So imagine that you did that and you wanted to know, is my playtesting any good? So you reach out and you grab a bunch of people and you build it and you ask them to play your game. Or you say, screw it, I'm going to program this game into an AI and I'm going to give the AI different personalities. I'm going to say, play itself until we see how balanced it is, how imbalanced it is, and things like that. And matter of fact, you can do that with like the version of Carcassonne where you can not just pick to play the AI, but which AI. So if you let the AI play itself, the AI can make suggestions about the balance of the game. And if you give the AI parameters and you tell it what those parameters are, at some point you step back and go, you know what, AI, here's what I'm looking for. I want a game that's going to last about 15 minutes. That's going to so many things, so much user interaction, blah, blah, blah. Here are all the parameters. Design me a board game. And why not? Now, if all you do is take that mechanism, that's fine. But what we then do is go, that was a wonderful design tool. How are we going to then transcend what the computer gave us? Because remember, and I mentioned this in another video, AI is just slang for the academic talking about things that currently people do better at.
Okay. Jasper was talking about using machines to balance. He says, you're just talking about using a machine to test the numbers of your game for balancing. You're not actually testing for fun. And that's a good semantical discussion that we should break down again. Like, where do you use machines to forge your design? What can a machine inherently do better than play testing? Well, what and when can you do with the tools that are available? Because obviously this AI generated art actually has a way to shortcut a lot of stuff. It might also be a tool for creative directors to say, hey, this is a way to start our different things and you can get farther along the process of things. But that being said, you can use a machine to do mathematic models of your deck builder right now. That's great. That's a good choice. You go ahead, use it. You can also have a machine procedurally generate maps for your video games. And that is great. That's like unlimited content for your roguelite or roguelike. Like either one of those games, that we already have machines making game content for us. But when will they, just like this art, when will they be able to say, Jared really loves a game that challenges him to do an activity but doesn't actually have a point? I'm going to have it. I've been paying attention, Jared. I've been paying attention. What can I give him for 15 minutes that he will enjoy while he's enjoying his brownies kicking in? Like, these are the things.
How many of us are out here watching Roll for Sandwich every You watch Roll for Sandwich?
No.
You don't watch Roll for Sandwich?
No.
Oh my God. No, he's got this enormous following. He
Right.
lets the dice predict his lunch every day.
Oh no, I have watched no Roll for Sandwich.
Roll for Sandwich. So here's the deal. He rolls for Sandwich. We laugh. He makes a sandwich and he goes, "Oh my God, hummus with green tea and blah 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 actually tastes pretty good."
Right.
So this idea that the AI can be used as a designed inspiration tool, that the AI can mix things up and present things to us. We've been doing that for 100 years or more. And so this is where I mentioned computer-generated poetry, where the idea is, and it's in the 80s, they had computer-generated prose. I actually own a copy of the very hard-to-find The Policeman's Beard is Half Constructed. And even then, there was debate about how much intervention the programmers tweaked to get these things to come out. Where I work, do you know where I work? They will provide for mental health usage, a access to an AI therapist. I'm not even joking.
Oh my gosh, I need this in my life.
That you literally, and I work for some really cool places, and my friends are all, "This is the stupidest thing ever," and some of them are like, I tried it wasn't bad. And you knew it was an AI.
That's right. All right. Being on topic. We're talking about computer learning, and I am Karina, and other people have important points about like this isn't what it's really about for them to make a game, and where does human error like? There's a reason you'd rather play with people than machines. And there's obviously a reason you would rather have like a meal being organic, especially cooking being like a one-time experience, all that kinds of stuff. How does that factor into what you're teaching your students as you prepare them to learn in an environment where the other entities making games in their universe will be either AIs or AIs driven or taught by humans?
So one of the first things that we do when we teach people to design, and this is regardless of, if it's a game design, this is a design, is we stand on the shoulders of giants.
Yes.
Anybody who writes doesn't go, "Well, I don't want to read anything because I'll be influenced." That is an idiotic statement.
I hate that so much. I gotta add that to Mondo's list of things people could say that irritate game designers. I'm like, and things game designers could say to other game designers that make them want to squeeze their head. Like,
so the idea that we live in a context is important.
Yeah.
And those of us who live in our context, those of us who understand our context, who widen and embrace our context, have more building blocks to build upon.
Okay. So for folks who don't know, for folks who are less academic, Jared's advocating very strong. The very first part of understanding to learn how to design a game is realize that you have a history that you're bringing to your process. And that history includes all the things that you can incorporate in your design or that other players will come to bring themselves to your design. Is that correct, Jared?
It's every game you've ever played. It's every moment from childhood
That's a yes.
until this now. Yes, it's a yes.
It's a yes.
It's a yes. It's a yes. And widening. My favorite line was, you can't write a book if you've never read one. And so many people will try to make a game. Well, I've played a game, but have you analyzed its construction? There's a difference between driving a car and building a car. And so
yes.
we all, and I'm fine with it. So I go back, and I think I've said this in some of our stuff before. I ask my students first day of class, why do you want to be a game designer? That is
very important. I would say the very first thing that you should do if you're trying to learn to game design is ask yourself that question. Why do you want to design a game? And practically any answer is acceptable as long as you know what that answer.
There's only one right answer.
No.
There's only one right answer.
No, go on.
And by the way, first of all, everybody should know that I preach it like it's gospel, but it ain't. So, I want to be very, very clear here. My passion and my enthusiasm do not make things true. It makes me well watched.
What I tell people, Jared, is I'm old. I talk in absolutes. Please forgive me.
I do not talk in absolutes at all.
You just did.
That's my only absolute. My only. Why? Because you know what? Because this is really what they come to class.
Yes.
I go, why do you want to be a game designer? And they answer the question wrong. There is one wrong answer and there's one right answer, and everything else in between is okay.
Teach me, Professor Jared. What is the right answer?
The wrong answer is I like to play games, because that is the absolute wrong answer.
That is not a good answer.
You do not go to culinary school because you like to eat. You go become an accountant, earn a lot of money, and spend it at restaurants. Like there's a difference there. So why do we? And this is again my perspective. My students work for me, so it's their perspective now as well. The only right answer about why you want to be a game designer is because you'd like to play God. And not to lowercase g.
Oh my gosh.
No. I want you to remember this, because listen, you didn't even receive the Easter egg where I had your game with all the things about the leader. When somebody is playing one of my games, when they're playing one of my video games, one of my board games, whatever, when they're playing one of my video games, and all of a sudden they're like, from across time and space, I made them do that. I crafted an experience from across time and space. That is what game design is.
Well, yes, that is a great point. We're going to take 2 seconds to remind people, likes on the separate sides of the screen are actually separate. If you like Jared's, like, being a game designer is enjoying playing God, please hit on his side. If you have a more rational perspective, please hit like on my side. All you have to do is tap the screen. Now, he is not absolutely wrong. This enjoying, like, crafting an experience that people can live in. There's a lot of ways semantically to say that that is playing any kind of divine entity that you want.
Yeah. Our job, and this is why the computer can't do it. Our job is to craft experience for others. So that's really the job. The game is irrelevant. The game is completely irrelevant. I am in the business of experience design. What I teach transcends whether it's the board, the dice, the video, whatever. My job is to teach people what it is like to take somebody else and to put them in and craft an experience around them.
That is great. Let us make sure that